You got Jazzy. Hello,
I got
everybody. Hello, Maree and Jazzy. Thank you for being here, you guys. Always supporting us. We appreciate you so much. So, Marie and I were talking about some questions that a friend of hers had sent her about silver. And even though our topic today is what keeps us out of the 5D, we are going to go ahead and ask the questions because they're very pertinent to what's happening right now and the crazy madness that is just happening, the ups and downs. And so, um, yeah, let's get started, Marie. I'm excited.
Yeah, hi. So I actually caught up with Victor. I think he came to meet you when you were in Australia with a whole lot of other people. And he said when he was meditating, he had these downloads, and he sort of feels that for him this feels right. And I said, well, I'll have to tune into it as well. But I think why not bring them up and have a look and just see if it's if there's some things are going to happen at some stage. So the question, there was one deliberate question, and that was around silver, and it was, is there a document called 47B, or is it? I'm not going to even put a name on it. I'm going to go. Is there a document that is going to be used by Trump to actually start a floor price on silver? So moving away from the COMEX pricing and saying this is a baseline price for silver because silver's a metal of national importance. So we'll ask that question first, I think. So is there actually going to be some sort of law form implemented
Yeah, I was
about silver?
wondering how they were going to get away from the comics.
Yeah,
So I was wondering, and this makes sense. This would be a way for that to happen. So yeah, I'm
interesting.
definitely interested to see what the cards say.
Okay, let's just have a little look. So I'm interested in this as well.
I mean,
So,
he already said that it's of national security importance.
oh,
Already,
has
he
he?
already said that.
Okay, so I really haven't looked into this much. So let's just see if we can get some intuition on it and just see if that's a possibility. Oh, you want to come out? Yeah, interesting because I am getting more a yes that this is one way that it could actually go. And we've got the Page of Cups. Now, a page is always when something happens small. So it's implementing something so emotional balance is kept with people. And then the fish always to me symbolizes wisdom that is coming through. So I feel if this happens, it'll be done in a way that it's not jarring or it's not too huge for people because yeah, 4 cups, a lot of people might not like this idea. So because when with that cup being offered, some people go, no, 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 we don't like change, we like everything to be as it is. So we know this, right? And of course there's going to be probably a big pushback from the banks, but I feel something could happen because we've got our Six of Swords. This is when you're moving into calmer waters, you're moving, it's more stabilized, it's a plan. And you can see the rough water here, so that they're moving away from that rough water into something better. So look, I feel that that is a possibility that that could happen, that there is a floor plan for silver. There's another one that wants to come out. Let me just feel it. Yeah, you. Oh my goodness. And then we get the Six of Wands. So action is taken to create a victory. So the Six of Swords is the plan, and then moving into the Six of Wands. But they've had to suss out. I think a lot of people are a little bit peeved with what's happened, and more people are becoming aware of how the banks and,
And
you know,
manipulating.
not just the banks, but the big companies are manipulating with the SLV paper, and they're seeing it and they're going, this is wrong. So I feel that it like that could have been done deliberately is what I was
I
feeling.
think so. I think so.
Yeah, I really feel that. So yeah, so I feel that this is a high possibility that that could happen. I feel the star cards up. So to me, this is part of that divine plan, and it could have gone
Yeah.
either way. But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
that was that one that he asked about. Do you want me to
Yeah.
do a couple more or not?
Yeah. 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 I mean, let's
Okay.
do all of them.
And so what he was saying was when he was meditating that he was getting a hit that the Iraqi dinar would be revalued. It would be around 20 cents US, and around Christmas time, either just before or just after. So we'll just see if that's actually something that's maybe
Isn't that two questions?
It is. I was just
Separate
getting that. I was
questions?
saying, okay, so let's ask the first one about the revaluation rate. Is it around about that 20 cents?
Is it, yeah,
So
less than $1?
is it less than $1 or less than 50 cents in actual fact? So let's
Yeah.
just ask that. Is that actually a high possibility? Oh, okay. You want to come out? Okay. Yeah, they both wanted to come out. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
That one. So okay. So the first one up is the Hierophant. Now, to me, this is someone that has a lot of authority, a lot of control, and also trying to find what's the best way to do something. The Hermit, I feel this is still under construction because the Hermit card is going inside and taking time to really contemplate. I feel it's going to be more than that because the Ten of Pentacles has come up.
Yeah.
To me, this is abundance. This is a
Yeah.
lot more.
Yeah.
So I feel it's probably look, it may start at that and then move on to more. Yeah, there's something hidden. So there's still something going on that's not yet played out as a part of the plan. So look, it may start at that and then start going up more.
Well, doesn't there need to be reparation, like for the things that were done to them?
It's more, and plus remember they look at assets that are country based as well, so that country has an awful lot of assets as we know. So yeah, and they were completely done over. So
yeah,
shall we just check? And timelines to me are always a bit dicey.
Yep.
As you know, there's
Yes.
so many different multiple factors and realms that are all interwoven here. So, but let me just see if that question that Victor asked around Christmas time, somewhere before or after Christmas time. Oh, it's so hot up here. Okay, I've got to go for this. I'm getting a no because that Two of Swords to me is we need to either ask more questions or that's actually a no.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be before then. I don't know. Me personally, I feel like it's going to be before.
Intuitively. Yeah, Ace of Swords. That's a yes for what you're feeling and believing. But like I said, timelines are really variable. But so we'll wait and see on that one. I think it's so good when people, I love it when people do just take what they get and then have a look at it and go deeper with it.
Yeah.
And let's just see if XRP is going to be available for large payments and as currency for between borders. So let's just have a little look at this. So
yeah, absolutely.
XRP as a bridge or for large payments, because at the moment, I mean, I don't know what they do if they have to go through the old system, which, they keep the money for a few days, don't they? Do what they want with it.
Yeah, of course.
The SWIFT system. So let's just see if that's actually is something that is really a high possibility of happening.
Yep.
You're hot. Yeah, Justice is coming up. And we've got our Knight of Wands. So usually he moves quickly. Sometimes it can look like it's not going the right way with the Knight of Wands, but it actually usually can then something comes through quite quickly. And again, so many people, King of Pentacles, this is definitely something that's on the cards because that he's the absolute master of reality, especially money, finances. Yeah, so I would say that that's a high potential, definitely. So, and the other one was XLM, that would be used for us, like for smaller payments. They still, so we can ask that question as well. Look, this may not happen this year. I don't know. It depends. But I think a lot's going to happen this year, personally.
I do too.
I just feel a lot's going to shift and change this year. It's been set up. And now it's like, okay, it's time.
Yeah. And it's also the year, right? It's the year of new beginnings. So I would think it has to happen this year.
I agree with you. I do. It just feels like, oh my gosh, same kind of. So there's definitely a strategy. So that 5, when he's holding the 5 of Swords, it's a 7, but he's holding the 5, which is change in a strategy. And then there's 2 swords at the back, which is like, this is the plan to keep it balanced. Look what we got up again. that King of Pentacles. So again, this is another high possibility. And again, this is just for entertainment purposes, folks.
Of
Nothing else
course.
but entertainment. Wheel of
Always.
Fortune. So there's definitely going to be some sort of movement because it's the right timing. It's the right season for it to move. So I'm getting that that's a really high possibility as well. Okay, and the other one was the silver. We've done that. And will there be new laws to cover banks being taken over or well, I mean, you look at a lot of the banks have to be ISO 20, what is it? I never know how to say that.
2022.
Yeah,
2022.
that compliant. So let's just see if there will be a law and a shift in the banking systems somehow around that. They'll have to be just better. Let's have a look and see if there is going to be something that comes out, and it may just be the US to start with, and we don't know. It's still in progress. I would say, like some of the plan, it's still in a progress as to the best way to do this. Okay, yeah. Temperance, but there will be a change. But again, people don't like change, so it might take a little bit more time for that to come through.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So,
Ugh.
I mean, but a little bit more time, it may be like 10 months, Yeah, 10 of Wands. So there's action being taken. It's just not quite finished yet. All those cards are telling me the same thing. We just be patient because it'll come through at the right time. If you've got too many people that go against it, then it's pointless in a way.
So can you ask if the cards can tell us, and I've let this go, like completely let it go. Like I don't look at either silver or XRP anymore. Like I'm not emotionally
Yeah.
attached to it in any way. But my brother, he asked me to buy some. So I see that the price has dropped.
Yes. You mean
And
silver?
XRP. Well, both.
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 Yeah.
And so drastically down to the point where if I had money to invest, I'm not telling you what
Yeah.
to do, people. I would buy some. So what is going on with this? Is it really truly a war going on behind the scenes between the banks and the good guys, or is it all for show?
Okay, let's have a look and see. So you mean the drop that's happened in the whole market? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it hit both of them.
I know. It's
Yeah.
hit everything. It's hit everything. Yes, it's hit everything. So it is to me this is a strategy as well, and it's almost like they're still what I was getting intuitively. They're really just getting so much evidence against them because they can't do anything until they've got the evidence. So when there's unlawful manipulation of different things, yeah, but we're going to, again, that Six of Swords has come up. So we are heading into a better place with all of this. But, like you say, if you want to buy things, now's the time to do it. Believe me, if you've got some money. Yeah. Now the Knight of Cups has come up. So he's an emotional person. He's an emotional, what do you call it? Master of emotions. But to me, there's always something a little bit hidden under his cloak. So we, again, like you said, just stay in that very level emotional field and logically look at, well, what would I want to do for myself? Do I want to invest more in this or that? And I think it's just, but then it's also a matter of going, well, when is it time for me to sell a little bit to maybe get back all the money I've invested in? And after that, then it's not so emotionally taxing, sort of watching it like we know people can do.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. So, Joyce, yes, I am familiar with Ethereum. I'm not a big fan because their network fees are outrageous. So I'm not a big fan of them. So let's see.
yeah,
I just learned about Ethereum today from Brad Johnson on Michael Sala's channel today. He said Bitcoin was going to dive this year also.
yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if they're going to take Bitcoin down. I remember a long time ago. I mean, when I used to watch Janine religiously, that she had said that Bitcoin was going to go to zero, and that's why I sold my Bitcoin. And then somehow things changed, and um, but now it seems like it's back on that track of like maybe going back to zero. Like I don't know what happened. I don't. So I would ask if we think that if Bitcoin is gonna just go away.
No.
Okay.
10 of Pentacles, no. Strength. So I feel it's almost like when I'm intuitively, when I'm looking at like the whole system and the way it's set up, it's like Bitcoin's like an anchor point. I feel it's been turned and it's
Okay.
like an anchor point. So yeah, so I don't feel it is now. It may have been going to back then, but not from what I can see with those cards and just my intuition and just what I'm seeing. I don't feel it is. Look, I think everything's going to do this for a while, everything. So
Yep.
just I don't look at it. I have it, I have a thing set where I might sell it when it gets to this point, but I'm not in, I just stay out of it because it's all just part of this. I feel they're doing it as getting evidence as well.
Yeah. Well,
Against,
it's super low right now. So I mean,
yeah,
that would also be, but again, Bitcoin has to go a lot up in order to
yeah,
make a percentage compared to XRP or even XLM, which is pennies. It's pennies. Like, why would you? I don't understand why somebody would buy Bitcoin over XLM. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you can make so much more
yeah,
money
yeah.
with
Yes,
XLM.
and this is where our own intuition comes in and our own strategies and what we have available, what we're prepared to lose. Because to me, investing in something like that, you've got to be prepared to lose it as well or sell
Yeah.
off at a certain point. So really I feel this is such a personal thing for people.
Oh,
So
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's so
absolutely.
personal. And I know this is how I look at it anyway. So yeah, I'm getting Ace of Swords with that one too. So very personal, and
Oh,
there's
yeah, yeah,
also
yeah.
there's an energy with everything. There's an energy behind everything. So whatever resonates for you personally, or for me personally, is what I go with, as well as looking at, you got to do your logical stuff. You look at your company, you look at what it is, all of that. So yeah,
Yeah, and what it
very
was
personal.
used for, because it was
Yeah.
not used for good things.
Yeah. So I feel something's been turned around with Bitcoin. Look, who knows, in 10 years' time, it may wipe, everything might be changed. I don't know. But right for now, it's not. It's definitely, I'm feeling like it's an anchor point for the market.
Mm, mhm. Okay. Well, that's good to know. If
We haven't
people
done
have
a little
Bitcoin.
review like that for ages, have we? So
Yeah, yeah. Um, is there gonna be, are we gonna leave 2026 with a stable
mm,
banking system, um,
stable banking
or
system.
stable, I don't know, like all this stuff, how it's up and down and the market's crashing, then it goes up, then it goes down, then
Yeah.
or is it still going to be this constant just,
Cray.
yeah,
Yeah. And well, I think we'd need to really individualize it. So I'll check first with like the precious metals, whether we're talking about silver, gold, platinum, whatever. Let's just check to see if maybe silver and gold will be more stabilized. We can do that first and then
yeah,
check with the banks and things. Yeah. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. This is someone that's bringing a message about a financial thing, and it's very stable, usually very, very
okay,
stable, very sure-footed. So even just with that card, I feel it's heading in a much better direction. And it was really interesting when I looked at the timeline intuitively, like for silver, maybe in gold. It gets a bit bumpy again around June, goes up again around like May, June, down again. And then come August, I feel something around August, June, July, August is going to be more of a stable type, stable type situation, because I've got a strength card just came up then too. So, again, though.
And maybe that's tied to Trump saying that it's setting the price.
Ace of Swords. It could very well be. So, yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So I feel that. I mean, we can check with the banking system. I feel the US is going to get, well, I guess that a lot of the banks are worldwide, aren't they? They're not just US, the big ones. So, but, we can just check to see if there will be any big changes in how the banks are allowed to run their systems.
Yeah.
If they actually have more of a.
Well, obviously, ISO 2022 is a huge change for banks to,
We've got our full card. Yeah, it looks like there will be something new that comes in, definitely. A lot of people won't understand it or won't know, because the full card is something new that you have no idea. You're just jumping with faith. But there will be balance. Look at this. The Two of Wands is when you're taking action to look for balance, and look at he's holding that world in his hand. So I would say this could be something that really quickly transfers around, across the world. The High Priestess, it's still hidden at the moment. So There's something going on, definitely. So that's positive as well. It might just be one or two changes that, it just revamps something.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Anything else on the banking, money side, financial side?
Don't know. Has anyone got any questions? So, but again, just always follow your intuition, do your homework. But personally, I never leave too much money in the bank. I just, try and invest it into something that's a bit more solid. That's what I like to do. So,
yeah. Mine's all invested.
Yeah,
it's all invested. Yeah.
But there will be justice. There will be justice. And oh my goodness, so sometimes when this card comes up, the scales here are really out of whack, but these are really beautifully aligned with that card around it all. So,
yeah. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Oh, yeah. So, a state of bliss. Oh my God, remind me of her name.
Sherry.
So, ask about the Zim bonds.
What do you need to know?
So let's ask I would ask if they're going to even be
activated.
Yeah.
Like
I couldn't find the word.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just see if that's a high potential for happening. Okay. Yep. It's you. I feel, because the Queen of Pentacles has come up first, I feel that this has been really looked at closely, because a pentacle, again, is a financial system. I feel this has changed and it's really been looked at carefully. It may not be what people were expecting, is possibly what I'm getting here. I've got another card that's getting really hot. Let me just find that. So it's being worked on. We've got our Eight of Pentacles. So something's being worked on. Knight of Cups, this is a messenger bringing an emotional message. So I feel that I think sometimes people get so attached to what's going to happen. And then when it doesn't happen, it can be devastating for people. So I would just stay the observer, be the observer around the Zim bonds. Yeah, I mean, because at one stage I think it was finished, because that Ten of Swords.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
It felt like it was over and done with, almost. Yeah. But I think I think there's something being revamped. But I wouldn't hold my breath on Zim bonds personally.
Yeah.
Um, that's yeah. Don't get too emotionally attached to that.
Yeah.
There was because I felt it. Before that Ten of Swords came up, I felt like something had changed or been finished because of something that had happened. But it's still being worked on. So we'll just wait and see, I guess, as to what happens with that. But yeah, don't hang your hat on it. Oh my gosh, it's just come up again. Don't hang your hat on it, kids. Don't hang your hat on it. So if it comes up, bonus. But I wouldn't be getting too excited about the Zim bonds.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. They were touting those like
Oh,
crazy, talking
yeah.
nonstop about it.
And I haven't looked at anything for a very long time anyway. And so,
Yeah,
but
me
so this
either.
was just like what I was seeing. I sort of see timelines, or not timelines, but things happening. And yeah, it doesn't, yeah, yeah, something will come of it maybe, but yeah, not what was being, I think, talked about.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'll be right for Zimbabwe. The justice cards come up. So
Yeah.
whatever happens, it'll be right for the whole reason it was meant to be right for.
Well, I know that they started selling gold and using gold for because they have a lot of gold. They can mine a lot of gold there. So I know that they had started using just real gold, not the Zims, but actual
Yeah.
real gold.
Yep.
So I
Says a
would
lot,
think that
doesn't it?
that's more valuable than
Oh yeah.
paper, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I reckon that's just about it
Yeah,
for that.
absolutely. So let's move up to the 5D where money doesn't matter.
Well, where money is just another part of an aspect of how we choose to create our existence and our life and our experiences.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, money is really no different than a blade of grass or it's really no different than any other thing in our reality. It's all, um, we've given it so much value that that's why it has value. And I think sometimes that really brings blocks up for people because they're so attached to it. And that was a block for me. That's probably the biggest, longest, hardest block that I had to go through. Even the hardest of all the tests that I've been put through. That one was definitely the hardest. Um,
What do
but
you think was underlying that, Elisa, for you? What did you get that down to then? That was like your a limiting belief or a particular pattern. Did you find
well,
what it
it's
was?
it's about survival.
Yeah. So poverty consciousness, survival. Yes. So, and we all
Survival.
have it at some
So,
level.
like, it's almost as if it's like water. Like, if I don't have water, I'm going to die,
Hmm.
right? Um, it's that same idea that if I didn't have it, that I would die. Like, it's catastrophic. And I don't know if that's a program that has been put in our minds from the powers that be,
Yep.
or if it's or if it comes from like a past life or um I don't know. I have a feeling it comes from a past lives, like as in plural. I know that I was told that I had a lifetime where my family died of hunger, of starvation,
Yep.
because we didn't have money. And so I have a feeling it does come from other lifetimes. And it really has been the hardest. I mean, it's taken me several years to really jump off the cliff and say, I don't, you don't own me. I have zero attachment to you. I have zero attachment to you. And what I notice now is that I'm seeing it in a different manner where it's like, who can I support today? Like the local people that have businesses that have like a floating, like the floating people, like I'm going to go support them and I'm going to support the local, like the local Pilates people, right? These are people that are not corporations. These are people that have a business. And so it's like, who can I go support today? Who can I help today? And when I go buy something and it's something that I just grabbed from the refrigerator at the shop, and they say, you want a tip. And most people are like, oh my God, tip them, they did nothing, blah blah blah. And I'm like the opposite. I'm like, nope, I'm sharing my wealth with you. Yes. Here you
Yeah.
go. So changing the mentality that as this beautiful energy is going out, it's going to come back in. And it's that trust and that knowing that I'm helping others, I'm helping others, I'm helping others. And so that beautiful mindset, now it feels so delicious and so good, instead of like, oh no, like I'm holding on to this like for dear life, or the 3D thought that the bank account is slowly going down. So another thing that I do now is, if I am abundant right now and I have more than enough to do what I love to do in this now moment, and now I have it in this now moment, and now I have it on this now moment, and now I have it on this now moment, then wouldn't that mean that I would always have it in the now moment?
Yeah.
And so that's where I've come to be now. It's in that space of, it's always going to be that way in this now moment. So,
Yeah.
and the universe, that it has to figure out how. That's not my problem. It's about energy. It's about what I believe, and that's what I believe, that every single now moment I have more than enough to do what I want to do. So
Totally. And once we've got it right within ourselves, and once we've accepted that, then that's when we can have that generosity of spirit that goes with it. And it's interesting, because I've worked with quite a few people where it's actually been passed through, like the lineage. You can see it, if I know the parents, and I go, oh my gosh, what you're not realizing is you've brought this on, and you're just expressing it in a slightly different way to how your parents did. And once people see that, they go, oh yeah. So it's also being aware of it and owning it, because once we do that, that's 90% of the change.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So just knowing that you might be free, you might have enough to be free, but you don't feel that you are, right? So that was something that I had to do to be able to have the life I have now. I just had to realize I had enough,
Yeah.
that I had enough, and that I will always have enough, and more than enough, right? So because I like to travel and do so many things, like I want more than enough, because I want to make sure that I can do the things that I want to do and the missions that they send me on. So but it's really looking at it in a different way
Yeah.
at the end of the
Totally.
day.
Totally.
So
It's got to feel different. It's almost like there's got to be an internal shift around it. And it's like, for some, like, okay, with Clive, my cat, for example, when I first fostered him, I could pick him up with one finger. He was meant to be 6.5 years old. He was meant to be the second biggest type of cat, on earth. And he was this thing that was so starved, because he had been found, that he now has a thing around eating and food. He really does. And so I've been like working with him, but he gets so anxious if he doesn't have food in his plate, and he can just go to it any
oh,
time he wants to. Yeah, he'll come up and bite my leg if he feels like and sometimes he wants me there with him when he's eating, but he has to have food in his plate. Doesn't matter. Yeah, if he's got an empty plate, he starts to get really stressed. So,
wow.
you can see how a trauma like that can actually, of course, it becomes like a survival factor. So
Mhm.
it's just then working with that to actually let them know, hey, you're never going to go hungry, and all of this. So, but it's like us with that money aspect, or that ability to buy or to look after ourselves. So, and if it wasn't money, if it was rocks, then it would be, we'd have a rock issue. It's just It's just the thing in the name. But also too, really interesting with money, it's so interesting because of all the symbology on it, you know, how it was brought in, and the intention behind it was so that it could be printed and there didn't have to be anything that backed it. It's just this free stuff to the people that wanted it for them, for
Yep.
them. And so I feel when there's an intention like that attached to something that we can, it's so important for us really to in everyday life. I feel that can also trigger or affect a lineage or other lifetime around lack and poverty. And so blessing money, just blessing it and just gratitude for it as well helps, I feel, to negate that intention. Because they did a little bit of a I read this sort of study thing, and they looked at, with all the taxes that go on to money. So we might have a GST, we might have we've got, you know, our income tax, we might have car licenses, car registration, all of those things. They said we end up with about 25 cents to every dollar. So, you know, so yeah, it's a system that has definitely been used, but it doesn't have to be like that for us, because
Right.
it can come from anywhere as long as we're not limiting ourselves, as long as we're unlimited.
Right. That's exactly it. So if I am an unlimited being, why would I let money hold me from being unlimited? And that's what we're doing. And that's what I noticed I was doing. And I should talk as for me. That's what
Same.
I was doing, right? I was allowing this paper debt, which is debt, by the way, it's not even real, um, to limit my life, to limit my beautiful soul, to limit my um, my way of life, to limit everything in my life. Like, what power did I give this thing? Oh my God, what?
I mean, even the reaction when we go shopping to buy food, oh no, that's too expensive, I'll get the cheap one. Hello, you know, down to every decision we often make. That's how I went, oh, this is ridiculous. I now just buy exactly what my
Yeah.
soul and my body tell me
Yep.
to buy.
Yep. Yep.
I know
Yep.
I'm covered. I know
Yep.
I'm looked after, and it
Yep.
always works out now.
Yep.
So
I
again,
am
like you,
doing, yeah,
there's
I'm
a lot.
doing pretty good about not looking at prices. I'm going to say I'm 50-50 right now. I'm still in that, you know, in that don't look at it, don't look at it, don't look at it. But yeah, in the not looking at it, because at the end of the day, I don't want it to limit me. Don't, I mean, and not only that, I think also in working with my self-worth, now I tell myself, oh, I'm worthy. I'm worthy of the expensive one. You know,
That's
I don't care. I'm worthy of it. And for example, here, our local health food store, they sell stuff for a lot more. Like I don't know, an avocado is $2, for example, the Hass avocado, the small one. And you know, I can get it cheaper somewhere else, but often I will tell myself I'm going to donate to them. So it's almost like a donation so that they stay afloat, and
yeah,
they're, you know, and I'm giving them the $2. So it's the way that you frame it too. Like, how are we framing that expense or whatever? But again, at the end of the day, we shouldn't allow something to hold our light, to dim our light, to, and that, because that's what they want, right? That's the whole idea behind this whole tax system, behind this whole debt system, all of it.
absolutely. And you know, I love shopping just with intuition, and sort of I'll go, oh, why is that one calling me? And then I might have a look at it and see what's in it. I go, that's why, because it hasn't got this in it. And yeah, so yeah, it just makes everything more fun. And look, if things are on a special and it's what my body wants, I'll go, hey, beautiful win, thank you. Or it doesn't matter. As long to me as there's joy or fun with it, that's what matters. So I'd love to know, how does everyone else, what has everyone else been experiencing sort of with money, you know, because it can be really vulnerable sometimes. I went through phases where I was going, I don't know how I'm going to pay my rent this week, or I don't know how I'm going to pay my mortgage. I had 2 mortgages at one stage, and all I felt like I was doing was working so hard and going, well, this money, it's just going to these banks. I'm not even, and yeah, so I'd make myself sit and have a cup of tea and look out from my beautiful view on my mountain house and go, I'll enjoy this for half an hour before I go to work. I was going, this is the most ridiculous system. And I just emotionally lost my shit basically for a while. I was going, I can't deal with this. And what I've recognized from that huge meltdown, it actually told me, Maree, you can work the system differently. There's always a way around the system. How and so it was like I started to just detach from the system. So I'd love to know what everyone else has been through along these lines. What have you learnt from it? What was it that maybe jolted you into a new paradigm, a new way of believing and letting go of a poverty consciousness? Because we've all had it, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
For sure. And there's some lineages that, like the Jewish lineage, they've always had um, this, to be frugal, right? It runs in the ancestral line. And so, I'm so proud of one of my friends who's just like, she has totally, doesn't even see it anymore. Like she's completely switched it over and healed that for the ancestors on her line, which is beautiful, just beautiful.
absolutely.
So,
It's also interesting though, because my understanding, tell me if I'm wrong, but Jewish people also work together. They have a huge community where they all come together and look after each other financially, like with work or whatever it is. So on one hand, there's also this huge abundance that gets passed down.
oh
So
yeah, big time.
yeah, but I mean, I know some of the wealthiest people are the most frugal. It's just this weird thing. It's like, well, why not enjoy it? So
Right, exactly, exactly. I mean, yeah. Um,
it's a
so let's see,
highly
sacred nuts. I'm going through this right now in a separation, but I know I'm okay, and I refuse to have a poverty mindset. Absolutely, that's going to give you so much strength. I look at it as I am always and always have been looked after. Absolutely. I mean, that's exactly what the mindset that we have to be with. I
yep,
mean, that's the mindset that I'm living with. It's like I'm always looked after and everything always works out, right?
always. You know,
Always.
oh my gosh. I mean, I've had some incredible little miracles happen. I remember I'd moved back from Sydney to Perth, where I had a mortgage on a property there, and I couldn't start work for 4 weeks because back in those days you couldn't get your nursing registration interstate. You had to wait 4 weeks. I was going, oh, and the house had been broken into, and I had a tenant in there, and his for some reason his business had paid for the insurance, like there was an excess insurance, or there was no, they got a big payout back. Anyway, so I put it in through my insurance and I got this money. So I went to send it to him. He went, no, 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 no. He said, you were so kind to me. He said, you dropped the rent by so much because you had the house in the market. He said, I want you to keep that. And that was enough to pay my mortgage for that month. It was this check. And I was just going, this is the weirdest way I think I've ever got money before in my life. And this was like 30 years ago. It was incredible. So being
Wow.
open and like you say, being kind to people, like I really did. I dropped his rent quite a lot because I knew what a pain in the neck. I was trying to sell the house. And he just said, no, you're keeping that. So we have to be open to little miracles. Always leave room for miracles is one of my
Yeah.
favorite sayings.
Absolutely. And it's funny, I have a story too where I was at the Dispensa conference and I wanted to give to their charity called Give to Give so that people that are hurting can go to their conferences to get healed. And in my head, I'm like, you got to push yourself. You got to push yourself. Because I was going to do 100 a month. And then I'm like, I'm going to do 200 a month. Like I was just really pushing myself. And, and a week later, a friend of mine, I was taking care of her plants for a couple of months, and she sends me $250.
So this is it, isn't it? It's just showing us everything's connected.
Yeah,
And it's so true. It's the pushing. It's actually pushing beyond a boundary and having that faith and having that self-esteem and having that knowing that we
yeah,
are looked after. So, you know,
absolutely.
and Sherry's sort of put something up there.
I've had to move 13 times since 2020. Housing shortages with influx of people,
Mhm.
insane rent, lived in basements, trailers. However, what had kept me happy is the simple things. Yeah, and staying concentrated on that, staying, um, keeping your attention on what's the good things.
The
That's
joy
the
and the
joy.
gratitude.
Yeah.
Yes. And Sherry, I know that's really hard to do. I mean, I've moved a lot in my life, but I was so blessed. It was like intuitively I'd been living on my own, and I got told not to renew my lease at that stage, and this was in 2020, yeah, going into 21. And then I went, okay, I'll go and find something else. And I found exactly what I wanted. It was a little bit older house, but you've been there, Elisa, that place I had on the water. It was absolutely lovely. And then my friends said they'll move in. It was a 5-bedroom place. So I lived with my friends, and that was all over those horrid COVID years and the isolation and all of that. So I was so blessed. And if I hadn't moved, I think it would have been really tough. And that helped with rent and everything. So, we find somewhere that is going to help us out or be right for us, even if like you did 13 times. It's pretty full on and it's a bit exhausting. But you're right, it's the simple things. I didn't have a lot of money over that time because of what went on, and I just did enjoy the really simple things. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's a big deal to enjoy the simple things.
yeah.
Um, okay, so we have 77 Wild, same as you, but still struggling with money and trying to let go of the old beliefs. I'm in the change. Absolutely. Something that Marie told me to do that helped me was to really hold the money and hold the credit cards, whatever, and you hold it to your heart and you really love them,
Mm.
like really feel a lot of love. And not only that, but feel the love of the people that are going to receive it. So that
Mhm.
also made me feel really good about it as well. So just see it in a way where you are supporting others instead of I'm spending money or it doesn't feel good. Make it feel good. What thought do you have to have around it so that it feels good?
I agree. I just did this the other day. I was using my credit card, and I usually like to pay it off. And I went, oh, and I'm just gonna have to wait for another month to pay the whole thing off. And I went, oh, I'm so grateful I have this credit card. How blessed am I? Oh my God, thank you so much, God. This is amazing. And I just went straight away into that with it. So it didn't. It was like this shift, and I actually just pulled some cards for 77 Wild. I got the hit to do that. You can just leave it here. It's fine. 10 of Wands. So whatever you've been going through, it's nearly finished. You've just got a little bit more to go through. 8 of Pentacles. You've been working on something and it's going to come into fruition because we've got the 10 of Cups for you, which is beautiful emotionally. So just hold that vision and just know what it feels like, and to just be free and to be going, oh yeah, this is great. And look at your self-esteem I'm getting for you as well. Look at your self-worth with it.
Yeah. Yeah, that also changed for me too. Like, I used to always buy on sale. Things had to be on sale, and now it's like, no, I don't want on sale. I'm worthy of full price, damn it. So it's funny. Like, I don't
Oh,
even know where to go shopping because I'm so used to going to the sale places that like the
that's
TJ
hilarious.
Maxx and the Marshalls and now it's like, well, where do I go to buy regular price things? I have no idea. So it's something I have to learn. But yeah, I'm at that point where it's like, no, I'm worthy of better than this. Sorry, this is not cutting it anymore for this Elisa. This Elisa is completely different person and she's
Yeah.
worthy of the good things.
And it's funny because if you get a hit to go into those places, because sometimes places like TK Maxx, they have weird stuff. Like in Australia, we get stuff from the US and that we don't see in other places. So maybe twice a year I'll go in there because I just have this feeling there's going to be something in there that I can't find anywhere else as well. So, just yeah, following intuition, it makes such a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. I love living so much more simply now with house sitting and exploring areas. Not sure I want to settle as a home will build more things again. I'm much freer right now. Oh my gosh, Christine, I have been watching this couple that retired at 40 something and now are living like 6 months in Thailand, 3 months in Vietnam, blah, blah, blah. Like they are literally, and they're doing it for less than $4,000 a month and sometimes for 2,000 a month. And so, and they're staying at five-star hotels sometimes because
Yeah,
there's some areas that you don't want to do Airbnb, that hotel is better. So they're staying at the hotel suites because they have so many points that they're just living the life, and
yep,
they are retired and they don't, that's it. That I love the idea, but I have kids and I love my kids, so I probably will never be able to do that. But I do like the idea of leaving for 6 months or 3 months or whatever, and just knowing what does it feel like to live in Thailand for 6 months. What does that feel like? What does that look like?
yep.
How is it to eat fruit that tastes like fruit and just have it so readily available? So
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And she was saying, I find joy all around me. Went for a swing in the park after a scenic hike this morning. So fun. Went really high.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
it's
the
funny.
other thing too, right?
Yeah,
Adding play to your
Maree,
life.
I did that this morning too. I walked down onto the foreshore here and then I go and use all the weight stuff they've got set up, and they have a swing there. And my reward is always to have a swing. And I've been doing this for years and years and years and years. I always find somewhere when I was working away a lot, I'd always find a park or somewhere that I could run and then I could go and have a swing. Oh, it's so much fun.
It
So,
is a
and that's
swing.
priceless. You don't have to pay for it, but it brings the most joy than probably anything else that happens that day. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So what does Sherry saying? I have friends that just shop every day on anything. I go to farms and buy strawberries and make a day of it at the beach or forest. I feel so much richer than chaos of stores. Yeah,
mm,
I don't like going shopping myself.
me
I'm not
neither.
a big, I'm
I'm
just
not a shopper.
not a big
But I
fan.
love that you Sherry, that you go and find, and they're not covered in pesticides. You can find these beautiful organic farms and they have all of this produce you can pick yourself, and just the joy of that and the life that's in it. Because I know when I'm eating really good food, I don't need nearly as much of it to make me feel satiated. Yeah, that's how you say it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that, and just making like you say, making a picnic of it, perfect.
Yeah,
And it doesn't
absolutely.
cost, it doesn't matter what it costs or doesn't cost. And this is where I really know that our abundance and our self-worth comes into play, because we're actually doing things that we want to do, but it's just so healthy for us and it's so much fun. So, and you can't buy that. Like, that's a mindset.
Exactly. Exactly. And I think too that the attachment to money is keeping us in the matrix, right? If you know, because what we were going to discuss today is about waking up in 5D, and waking up in 5D is really knowing that your needs are met. And so they
Yeah,
will always be met. And really letting go of the beliefs that are holding us in that lack mindset. So it's as you start growing out of that, then it's about moving into that 5D mindset of you know
yeah,
having everything that you need always.
yeah. And I find that my needs have changed a lot from what I thought I needed, in that system, in that rat race. And now it's just, I just have this completely different picture of what it is I want to experience. It's so different, so
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, and it
Mm.
feels like the want for things is not, that's why we don't like shopping
Right.
anymore, because
No.
things don't bring us joy. It's being out in nature, being in the forest, being by water, being, blessing things or looking for ley lines or making grids or,
Being with
like
friends.
that's, yeah,
Yeah.
just that's our true joy now. It's not having material things.
Whereas for some people, that gives them that hit when they actually buy something. They might not even particularly like it, but just that purchasing gives them that hit. So yeah, so it can express itself in so many different ways. That need and those people, I've heard so many friends talk about people they know that they don't have that money and they'll rack up huge debts just to go shopping to get their fix. So again, that's another form of poverty consciousness because we're not looking at, well, what's actually truly making me happy.
Big time. Big time. All right. And 77 wild.
Wow.
So 40 hours, I tried 16
Yeesh.
hours of dry fast, and it's much easier than a water fast, way easier. Um, and I wish I could do it. I'm just too skinny now.
Mm.
I can't do any fasting at all right now because I went fruitarian and I've lost even more weight, which is a problem. But well, it's not a problem, but anyway, yeah, a lot easier. So if because you know what happens, Maree, when you dry fast?
Doesn't everything reset?
Well, the body starts eating fat for water.
Ah, I did not know that.
Yes. So
Okay.
if you have any stubborn fat, let me tell you, dry
Mhm.
fasting is the way to go.
And is there a recommended time period? Because I know sometimes they say you
Yes.
need to go over 12 hours or something.
Yes. So dry fasting is for me, obviously, I just wanted to try it, and I knew I didn't have enough fat to pull it off.
Right.
But I was like, no, I want to see if I can reset the body. So I think it was 16 hours. It was like,
Yeah.
um, I think it was that night. So I went to bed the night before and then all the way up to the nighttime. So I think I did 24 hours or something like that. But for people, normal people, let's see, she's almost in
36
40
hours.
hours of her. Yeah. So it's not very long. Obviously, you need,
It's not that long, I guess.
no,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
thinking 3 days. I'm thinking 3 days is the longest. You would have to look it up.
Yeah, yeah. I would. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's not something, no, I tell a lie. That dropped into my head for some weird reason about 4 days ago. I went, "Oh, I wonder what it would be like to do one of those dry fasts." And I don't know where it came from, so maybe I'm getting a message because here I am getting it second.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
getting the message.
there it is. Yeah, so this is it eats the fat around the organs. Yeah.
Oh,
So you
wow.
lose so much weight and it's the good
Yeah,
weight. Like you're
yeah.
really and when I heard that I was like, "Oh my God, that's amazing." I don't want to do that for that reason. I want to do it because I want to be healthy and reset my body. So,
But if you
but
haven't
yeah,
got enough fat on you, then you need to do the opposite of almost, you need to, yeah, make sure you're giving nutrients to your
yeah,
body.
yeah.
Whereas I could easily do one of those fasts. And it's so weird because I was checking my organs for visceral fat and going, oh, I wonder how they're doing. And then it was like this dry fast thing came into my head. So I feel that this is maybe a message to help me as well because we get them in weird ways.
Yeah, and it came out of the blue.
Yeah.
We weren't talking about that.
No, I love it. Thank you.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's true. Skinny people can have organ fat for sure, but I just
No,
can't
you
lose
can't
any
afford to do
more.
it. And I have actually heard that demographics, like I know Asian people, they tend to actually store fat first on their organs. So when they then show that
Mm.
they're overweight, they've already got a lot of organ fat. So I remember reading this years ago. I was looking at different demographics and what they found with, body structure, blah, blah. So, yeah, so I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So look it up. Let us know how it goes, Maree.
Yes, I'll have to make sure I'm not working those days. I'll get hangry. I won't be
Believe it
very
or
nice.
not, you don't get hungry. You get no, you get thirsty.
Yeah, true, true. Because I'm so used to having a lot of water, so that's really interesting.
Yeah,
Okay,
but it's not as bad. It's not as bad as a water fast. I don't know why, but it's
yeah,
not.
maybe the water still stimulates like all your gastric juices and things like that.
Maybe, maybe.
Mm, love it.
Yeah. So,
Well, thank you for that info, 77 Wild.
yeah, definitely. Research first. Absolutely. Well, Marie's used to be in the medical field, so she'll know,
Yeah,
what to look for.
I'll go alternate. Yeah,
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for today. We did not talk about anything I wanted that we were supposed to talk about, but that is even better
yeah,
because we were able to talk about what needed to be talked about. Sometimes you have something in mind and then something else comes up.
it's just how it works. It's always how it's meant to be.
It is. It is. I love it. If you guys haven't watched our last show with Tyler, I highly suggest you do watch it because it was mind blowing.
It's
And
fun.
definitely watch it. And we'll see you guys next week on Marie's show on Sunday and then our show on Monday. And we love you guys. Thank you for being here and stay high vibing. Bye bye, everybody.